Hello, my name is Jolie Brewer. This week in our speech class, we were told to tell a story of something that we've overcome in our lives. So my story starts in March of 2020. It was right when coronavirus started and everyone went on lockdown and everyone was quarantined and nobody left their house. So I really couldn't see any of my friends, but I would FaceTime my friend Casey every night and tell her about everything that was going on. And most nights we ended up talking about my friend John. He was a few years older than me, but we were friends. We'd Snapchat every day. And John had just began like a party phase, and he would tell me very disrespectful things every night. And I could never really talk to him about it because he was always under the influence of something. So even if we did talk about it, it wouldn't have stuck because he wouldn't have remembered it the next day. But Casey's advice was to block John. And at first I didn't want to, but eventually I knew that I had to. So, and Casey and John were my only friends at this time, but I thought that blocking him was the best idea because I just couldn't do it anymore. So one night in April, I blocked John, and then I called Casey because she was the only person who knew about the situation. So she was proud of me. She was there to support me because she thought that it was the best thing. So fast forward, this is mid-summer of 2020, like June, July. I called Casey for our nightly FaceTime. We would call every night. So tonight we really focused on her, and she had told me that she had been hurting herself because she didn't feel like she should be here anymore. And this really hurt me because she was one of the happiest people that I knew, and I blocked out all my feelings to try to help her, to be there for her. That night we also talked about how she was questioning her sexuality because we didn't think anybody would ever hear her, but we were wrong because the next day I tried to FaceTime her like we did every night, and she didn't answer. And I called again the next day, and she didn't answer. And eventually I found out that it was because her mom had heard our conversation the night before, and she took her phone away and blocked her out from the world. And looking back at it now, it definitely could have been a lot worse. But while I was in quarantine, the original quarantine, my only two friends were gone. I could not talk to them because one was blocked and one had fallen off the face of the earth. And this really put me in a dark spot in my life. I had no one to talk to about anything because at this point I was not close to my sister, so I couldn't tell her everything. And my family, my parents, they never noticed that anything was wrong with me, so I couldn't just tell them that I didn't want to be here. I would lay in bed all day. I would sleep from 5 in the morning. I would go to sleep at 5 in the morning, and I would wake up at 5 in the afternoon. My sleep schedule was all messed up. I would not get out of bed. I just had no motivation to do anything. But I dug myself out of that hole, and I'm doing better now, and I'm friends with Casey again. But really just in the moment, I never thought that I would come out of that situation, but I overcame it, and we're doing good now. Thanks.